This isn't going to be a gloomy 8.5 predictions, but the first one is kind of gloomy, more than kind of. I think we're going to see the dark side of strategic communications emerge in 2025. Everybody in communications has taken note of strategic communications. I'm not exactly certain how you define that, but what we've come to realize is that communications can move people to think and act in a particular way when you have a very strategic communications plan that you execute with very good tactics. We've loved that as PR communications people on behalf of what we do for our clients. But there's a dark side of strategic communications, and that is that you don't have to have a lot of money to buy strategic communications to be used as a weapon of war, which is what the US military has officially called it, a primary weapon of war. And they've acknowledged that there will never be a war fought again without what we call strategic communications. But the flip side of it is that our enemies, even those we don't know if and when they'll attack. Just take a look at the news and see how strategic communications is being used in every war fought around the world with military action and with economic action and with attempts to influence politics. Organizations of all kinds and governments are going to realize just how potent the weapon of strategic communications is. Prediction number two, not as gloomy, but still somewhat gloomy. Chaos communications will emerge as a new specialty of PR, just like crisis communications is a specialty now, or investor relations is a specialty, or publicity, whatever. Look at the world around us, and it doesn't take long to see that there's so many opportunities for chaos to erupt throughout the world. Trade wars, military wars, geopolitical changes, new alliances, environment, energy, natural causes, so on. How are we going to cope with all that as a communicator? How do you communicate in an environment of global chaos? The first rule of crisis communications is do no harm. What's the first rule of chaos communications? When there's misinformation, disinformation, people are choosing sides that don't make sense, people are relying on beliefs and conspiracy theories more than facts and science. On the upside, in 2025, we're going to see a great new career path called Chief Algorithm Officer. You tell me what is influencing how businesses operate more than algorithms so they can get likes and eyeballs. And one new role is going to be Chief Algorithm Officer. Prediction number four, likes will emerge as a true currency. In 2025, I think that will grow and I think it will start to be institutionalized as a true form of currency. It's not going to reach that status in 2025, but I believe in 2025, we're going to start to see ways in which social media support will be used as a new form of currency. Prediction number five, I think we're going to see a change in the dominant message since the Industrial Revolution. Up until the Industrial Revolution, people bought things because they needed them. They needed a new shovel, they needed new jeans, they needed new farm gear, whatever it was, they needed it, they bought it. The Industrial Revolution gave manufacturers the capacity to build more supply than was needed. So, as that possibility emerged, there had to be the creation of a new type of demand. People had to buy things no longer because they needed them, but because they wanted them. And that's when the communications business really took off. The whole consumer movement is based on messaging of wanting. That messaging is now being changed. Prediction number 6. The Webb Space Telescope pictures are unbelievable. And one of the things it teaches us is that we live in a world of 4 dimensions, not 3. Have you grown up in a world of 4 dimensions? I've grown up in a world of 3 dimensions. Well, what's the 4th dimension? Space time? What does that do to my concept of space now or time now? How is that going to change? And how is that going to change the human's worldview? We can't continue to live in a 3D world the same way pre-Copernicans had to change to a world where the earth was no longer the fixed center that everything revolved around. That was a lie. We've been living with a lie that we live in a world of 3D. That's no longer acceptable. It's undeniable that we live in a world of 4D, and we're going to have to change our worldview. I think that the concept of space time and the concept of 4 dimensions is going to emerge more clearly and with greater clarity. Here's a prediction that's going to tick off every marketing pro out there. Branding is going to ebb in direct relation to the increase in artificial intelligence and the ability to do highly targeted communications and advertising. Why would you spend all the time and money on a branding campaign when you can hit somebody right at the purchase decision or 5 minutes before the purchase decision and say, you really want a car and you can get that over here. I'll send a limo over to pick you up. And I know we have the car at a price you want, and I can give you better financing than anybody else. If you can target that person, that consumer, when they're ready to buy a car and hit them with a message that you've got exactly what they want in terms of features and price. Why would you spend all the time and money on a branding campaign when you can register sales by using that? Prediction number 8, something's going to happen in 2025 that's going to affect how humans relate to the entire concept of honesty. It's just been under attack and weakened way too long. It's way too easy to misinform, disinform, and be liars and get away with it. I'm not talking about any particular person or any particular party or any particular part of the world. The erosion of honesty globally is notable. And with the erosion of honesty, we also see an increase in people saying they believe something. Beliefs are not subject to the test of truth or falsity. There's no truth or falsity in beliefs. If so you can get somebody to believe something, all you have to do is keep building that intensity and making sure that belief doesn't change, and you've got a real supporter in a world where support will be used more and more as a currency. As honesty becomes eroded, what happens to human communications, which is based on the concept of collaboration? Collaboration is the entire reason why communications exists for humans, so that they could work together and share a mutual goal. Collaboration is based on trust between the people collaborating. What happens when trust is no longer inherent in our communications? Prediction 8.5. Some of the predictions I just spoke about will be proven to have missed the mark by an embarrassingly big margin. One, maybe more, who knows, may prove to be really perceptive, but wrong. Mostly, I believe that 2025 will be a great year for bots using more and better and smarter AI. But I'm not so certain 2025 will be such a great year for humans.